This podcast provides a platform that will share many different points of views that should empower you, uplift you, make you want to go out and do right. When you hear the term still a man, say, yes, I am. Still a man. Yes, I am. Still a man. Yes, I am. Let's go.
What's up, people? Welcome to another episode of the Still a Man podcast. Tonight's topic, a mandatory military draft. Now, you guys are probably thinking, those that are in the know, there has not been a military draft in America since 1973. All right? That was during the Vietnam War. And just so you know, this war, I was about to say this little war, that was a big war, lasted for like 20 years. I believe it started in 1955 and ended in 1975. That's a long time to be at war. All right, now let's fast forward to present day. Now we currently are in the mix. We are in somewhat of a war, depending on who you talk to, with Iran. Okay. That's what you want to call it. However, in December of 2025, the powers that be decided that selective services would now have an automatic registration. Now, back in the days, like the 90s, I'll say that, there used to be recruiters, military recruiters, that would come out to the high schools and stuff, and they would sit there in the lobby of the high schools, and they would try to recruit the young men to be all they can be, as far as they was concerned. And they would try to help get them enlisted into the armed forces. And some people signed up, and some people gave them the what do they call it? They gave them some sign language, but they wasn't signing up. They gave them the middle finger and they kept it moving. All right. So in December, Selective Services has now comprised a list, or they're comprising a list that consists of any American male, or I guess immigrants too, that reside within here to have their citizenship from 18 to, I believe, 25. You are now a part of the list. Now, in case of a war, and they can't get enough people to volunteer, then they, at the president's behest, can implement a military draft. And at that time, it would be mandatory. And all those names on that list will be, I guess, the first names on the list that they will go to. So if a war occurs during that time, when while you're aging between 18 and 25, if your name's on that list, you could be called into services. But I am concerned about that, because who are these mofos that make up this selective service? Who are these individuals that are going to select those to serve? I don't trust them. I don't trust anything that our current leadership is exhibiting. So that being said, I need everybody to use your imagination. What would you do if President Trump decided that a mandatory military draft is what's best for business? All right, let's go with Let me call up my notes. Open notes. We got Sean. We got Robert. We got Gregory. We got Patsy. And we got Tanya. All right. Let's have a conversation. All right. We got 8 questions, ladies and gentlemen. And gonna have to implement a new rule because I'm noticing that some people have the tendency to be long-winded when answering these questions. So I'm gonna need you to, now, mandatory, 2 minutes or less each question. All right? Everybody got that? Let's go. All right. Question number 1. Why are so many Americans anti-war and the enforcement of a military draft? Let's go to Sean first.
I believe that a majority of us are that way because since Vietnam, none of the wars that we've been a part of uh, that we believe that we should have been a part of or that it had anything to do with us. Um, and as far as um, being anti-war and anti-drafting, if I was to speak for my community alone, I don't know too many of us that even would want to die for this country.
Yes, yes. Tell the truth, shame the devil. You got more?
I'm gonna leave it right there.
Right. Patsy, same question. Why are so many Americans anti-war and the enforcement of a military draft?
Thank you.
I think I go with Sean on this one and kind of go further. Like, there are many people that don't feel like the country has defended them and supported them. And why should we fight for our country when they're not even fighting for us? And then if they had family that are veterans after war and they saw how they were treated after service by the government, by people that looking at them and be like, yo, and not quite understanding some of um the mental health stuff like PTSD and everything that they suffer from and whatever else illnesses that they physical and mental. Yeah. So yep.
Like it. Y'all coming out swinging. All right. Tanya, what do you say, beloved? Why are so many Americans anti-war and the enforcement of a military draft? Gotta turn your mic on, Tanya.
Kay has joined the meeting.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm going to piggyback off what Sean and Patsy said, and I'm going to add that no one wants to fight for the country that doesn't fight for us, as what was said on the previously. And no one wants to send their children or family members to fight a war that has nothing to do, that doesn't benefit us as Americans and only benefit the 1%.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. Y'all coming out dropping jewels. G Money, what do you say?
Oh, and let me add that they only putting us on the registrar. They're not putting any other 1%ers on there.
G.
True, true.
I don't think it's just America. Nobody wants to have a war because war brings casualties, and the only people that benefit from it is the hidden hand, like they was just saying on the panel. And our history as black people, knowing the Buffalo Soldiers and a couple of other wars, they put these black people as the first offense is crazy. So why would you ever want to go and risk your life?
Mm, loving it. Brimage.
They made it easy. I agree with them. That's far.
Okay. Welcome, Duchess. What's your opinion? Why are so many Americans anti-war in the enforcement of a military draft? Turn your mic on, Duchess.
Uh, um, they don't want they don't want to fight for a war of that has no reason. They basically, by this administration, we've been told many reasons why we're there, and none of them seem to be correct. And we're fighting other countries. I mean, this administration president is trying to have a war with Cuba. We already had issues with Venezuela. And I forget another, there's another country that's coming into, I can't think of it right now, that we might be having issues with as well. And nobody wants an endless war and multiple casualties. I mean, thousands of people fighting for no reason, and then there's no benefit to them or their family. I mean, people who serve now, their families are going to food kitchens for food. Um, the spouses are having to take on other jobs in addition to their own jobs to make ends meet. So this country doesn't care about you pre-war. Why the hell does it care about you during war or after?
They don't. They don't offer no kind of services to reacclimate the people into society.
Mhm. Okay.
And the services that they do offer, they're cutting. They don't gut it.
Okay. Does anybody else have anything to add? All right. I'm gonna answer this one too. Um I think that it's simply because I'm agree with you guys to the extent where we have America citizens, and I'm gonna speak from personal point of view and speaking for Black America. They have built up a distrust for the government. And again, like someone said earlier, this is based upon history, what they've shown us. They do not take care of their returning soldiers. They don't care about the families of these individuals. And again, I would be concerned about any type of military draft at this point because I don't think that selective services are going to be fair about it. I think they're going to select the minorities, and I think that other people will be given passes. So I don't think I would agree with something like that. And I think that most Americans, this is why they are anti-war and the enforcement of a military draft of any sorts because thus far it's been volunteer since 1973, and I don't think that anything you try to force people into you're gonna have good results. Not in this current time. Uh, People are so anti everything, and we, as a whole, Americans can quickly become rebellious about anything that they don't want to do. So I don't think that that's going to fare well for anybody that tries to force them to do anything. But again, we're gonna go on to question 2, unless anybody else has anything to add. All right, this is a good one. Question number 2. If President Trump was to impose a military mandatory draft, would Congress support or oppose his decision? Patsy?
I think they'll oppose it, but depending on who it is in Congress, But I think most of Congress will oppose that one.
Okay. Duchess, what do you say?
I think this Congress will, like they've been doing, they'll fall right in line. They'll bend the knee, lick the boot, kiss the ass.
What about the ring?
They'll suck the ring, everything that they do.
This sounds like soft porn.
Depending on where that ring is.
Oh wow. Okay, Patsy, don't give him any more. Do you got Kiana, do you got more? I don't even know where this is going with you two. Do you got any more to add?
No, that's it.
Oh, Tanya, I'm afraid. Tanya, what do you say?
I'm gonna agree with Kiana. And I'm going to add that if they do something like that, they need to put in, they like to go to the floor and vote on these resolutions. They need to vote on a resolution that the 1% are the first ones to be mandatory to go.
Hello.
Okay. Sean?
Yeah, I believe with this Congress, they will, like Kiana say, fall in line and 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 vote for it, because I think what they'll try to convince the people is that them voting for it and having a mandatory draft would save the taxpayers uh, save us from having to pay for it, because now what they would have to do is put all this advertising and propaganda and all this other stuff out there and actually, how you said it when you started off, how they used to have representatives coming up to the schools and having, what do you call those things? Uh, like, I forget what
The
you
recruiters.
say it again.
The recruiters.
Yes, like having them come out, and so they won't have to do all of that, because they'll have this in place.
Okay. Brimage, what do you say? Look, I said he ain't got no water. You see this? Come Somebody on. Mute your background. Come on. Robin, are you with us?
Sorry, I actually didn't hear that question, but I'm going to tell you, I'm going to take an easy ride tonight. I think that I can go with Sean and Keanu. Might have said something intelligent.
Okay. Do you want to attempt
This
it?
dude.
Do you want to attempt it? I mean, I don't know if there was a compliment in
Thank
there.
you,
I
Robert.
mean,
Give me the question. I might just still agree.
all right. I mean, okay. Question number 2. If President Trump was to impose a military draft, would Congress support or oppose his decision?
There's a lot of crazy stuff going on up in that daggone White House. I wouldn't be surprised if they support it. And even if they did not, he'll find some way to do what Donald Trump wants to do anyway.
Okay. G, what do you say?
I think it's a whole bunch of theatrics, and they're not gonna support it. They're gonna go against whatever he says, like they do right now. They go against whatever he says. It's
So,
always a hassle.
so just so we clear, Is Congress made up of is the majority Republicans currently?
Yeah, but what does that matter if you still have to go to the meetings and there's people that's gonna oppose stuff? There's still gonna be people that's gonna throw out their opinions and say, "Oh, I don't trust in nothing he does."
So you think that even the Republicans are going to oppose what he has to say?
Well, that's a different question. If you splitting it in half, some of them might oppose it and some of them might not. You just say, like I just said, everything he puts out there, it's somebody going against it. It doesn't matter if it's a Republican or a Democrat.
Okay. Does anybody else have anything to add?
Yeah, he'll probably put ICE as the recruiters.
Right?
Yeah. Mm, 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 that wouldn't be very productive. All right. All right, let's go on to question number 3. Okay. This is an interesting one. Question number 3. Robert, you with us? Remy?
Yes, yes.
All right. Would you ever encourage or allow your child to enlist in the armed forces?
You said never
Would you
allowed or
would you
encouraged your
would you
child to enlist in the armed forces?
would you ever?
Oh, ever. No, I definitely wouldn't. By the blessing, of the Lord. My son, they thought they was gonna get him, but took him to the doctor. Somehow he ended up coming up with flat feet and he couldn't go in.
um G, what you say?
I have
Um,
raised my son to say no war that he will ever fight in for this country. They don't care about you, so you will never give them free labor for anything.
Okay. Gregory?
yeah, nobody shouldn't be fighting a war for any country except for the leaders. What happened to the brave? When they used to go to war back in the days and the leader had to go out there and fight too. Put on your goddamn war helmet and get out there.
You want the president to go out there?
Him, everybody in Congress, the Republicans, the Democrats, they're the leaders of our country, right? Get your ass out there.
He's already dodged the war. He ain't going.
Mm-hmm.
Put
I
Nancy Pelosi out there.
I knew you was going somewhere with it. I knew it was too good to be true. I was just about to compliment you, but
If it
uh,
was a photo op, he'd be out there with his fist up in the air. So tell him that he's getting photographed.
with an upside down Bible.
Right.
Praying from all of them. I'll be praying for all of them. Or
It's a war to begin with.
yeah.
Well, he wants to be a king, so send him off and be a king.
Patsy, same question. Would you ever allow your child or a child under your charge to enlist in the armed forces?
I would strongly discourage it, but once they turn 18, they could decide what they want to do. But I wouldn't really want them to go.
Hmm, okay. Tanya, what do you say?
No, I told my brother not to enlist because once you enlist, they own you.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
mm,
But like people say, they make their own choices. I got uncles and cousins and all of that that serve the country and that enlisted recently.
mm,
I really wish that it wouldn't have happened under this administration because he don't care about nobody but himself. And the point of the matter is that this country goes to war for 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 not for the people but for their pockets.
Right.
mm-hmm.
So it's not benefiting us. They say that they're protecting our freedom, but you line in your pockets and you sending our children to go die. And you're not even supporting them when they come back.
Yep, I agree with that.
Yeah, they're protecting the freedoms of those that supposedly freed them. That's what they're doing.
And can I just add, we're losing freedoms all, I
Every
don't want to say
day.
every day
every
as we
day.
speak.
Mm-hmm.
Sean, what do you say?
Um, I would discourage my sons to want to enlist in any type of military, but with this with this even being a topic and a possibility, I'm nervous because I have two boys that would fall into that category, that age range.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. I don't envy nobody in this situation. Like I said, I do not trust uh the powers that be. I don't trust the governing parties. I don't trust on either side of the aisles, the Democrats or the Republicans, to make the correct call whereas this is concerned. So I would not give them any say over anybody that I love and care about. I wouldn't allow them to make that decision, and I would definitely not encourage any of my lineage, my family members, be it male or female, to enlist in America's armed forces. I mean,
But
some people might say that's selfish because somebody got to fight the war. Well, the somebody don't have to start with us.
and we got a bunch of idiots that is in control.
Mm-hmm.
The inmates are running the asylum. The asylum. You know how they say that?
Mm-hmm. You said it right. The inmates are running the asylum.
A
Uh
bunch of incompetent nincompoops.
huh.
Yep.
Anybody else have anything to add? All right. Let's see. Let's go to question number 3. Wait, that's question number 3. All right, this is a good one. Question number 4. In time of war, should the military have the option of enlisting death row prisoners? Hmm, interesting. Kiana?
You know how I feel about this. There's a lot of people who are on death row, um, who are innocent. So no, I don't believe that they should go.
Well, let's
I
talk.
think
Well, so let me narrow this down for you because knowing how you feel about it, I'm talking about the serial killers and the ones that they done committed murder after murder after murder, and they're in there, and you know that they did what they did because there's footage of it. Those individuals.
well, those individuals should probably be on the front line. But I think everybody who was out here squawking their asses, they're a patriot, they're for the country, they love the country. Let them be out there.
Oh, those mofos, you ain't gonna be able to find those so-called warriors.
As they will always say, pull your bootstraps up and get on the front line.
Mm-hmm.
Fatty,
they gonna
jackass,
they gonna get on
loser.
the front line. They're gonna be in the front of the line to get out of Dodge. Patsy, what do you say?
Those
Should
are the people who can't afford to get out of Dodge. So let them try.
Right.
what you say, Patsy? In time of war, should the military have the option of enlisting death row prisoners?
Death row prisoners, and they can start with the surviving Scenario brother that caused that Boston bombing,
Oh,
Boston Marathon bombing, stuff like that. People like that should be the first ones in line, and then the next ones. are those damn pedophiles.
Mm. The things you say, I would never.
I never like. Would you want when you want if one of your kids or grandkids got attacked by one of them pedophiles? Wouldn't you want them out there?
Put that bastard on the front line and the
Hello.
person that created them.
Exactly.
And again, David, shame, shame, shame. The things you say, how inhumane.
Mm-hmm.
No, that was very humane.
Okay, Gregory, that being said, what's your views on this? In time of war, should the military have the option of enlisting death row prisoners?
Hell yeah. That should be mandatory for people that they know they're gonna kill anyways. Put
Mm-hmm.
their ass out there in the field.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Brimage, what do you say? You got to turn your mic on. Okay.
Sorry, I'm just over here talking. I look at it this way: all the people from hood to hood, career criminals that like to do gun play. If you bust your guns off every week, kill your own race, and all of that, sell your drugs, and amongst other criminal acts. I just think that a career criminal that plays with a lot of guns, that they went to the jail over and over for gunplay. They should be on the front line. They're used to busting their guns. What better people to put there are the people that sit and shoot every week or play the shooting video games. You like to play video games, shooting and killing? You like to go out and rob in your own communities or kill your own race? Frontline.
Yes, sir.
But what about the death row prisoners?
The
Should
death
they?
row prisoners, yes, if they're career criminals, they're there for all of the right reasons, not they're there because you was framed or mistaken identity. No. But the ones who really, really make a career out of doing the repetition of criminal acts, yes.
Okay. Welcome, Timmy. We're talking about the idea of mandatory military drafts. And we are on question number 4, and it follows. In time of war, should the military have the option of enlisting death row prisoners? You got to turn your mic on. Okay, Tanya, what's your perspective?
I'm gonna agree with Kiana. I'm gonna agree with the panel because everybody has some good points of view.
Okay. Sean? Turn your
I'm
mic on.
gonna,
Yeah.
as much as I like what the panel had to say, it's not realistic for the simple fact that your question is, should they have the option to enlist those that are on death row
In time of war.
in time of war? And if they're
Mm-hmm.
going to enlist those on death row in time of war, then it's going to be a problem for those of us that may have family members on death row, because now you're discriminating, because now you're singling out what reasons they're on death row for.
Mm.
And so when you're doing that, at the end of the day, death row is death row. No matter what your crime is, no matter you was framed, and whether you're guilty or innocent, you're on death row.
Yeah.
Can I add a little bit to the question then? What about the people with life, a natural life or something?
That's
Those people have been framed too.
well.
Some of them. Some of
Well,
them.
goddamn. Well, I'm
Again,
like, what about the people that's proven without a doubt?
Mm,
but if you're on those things, they're proven without a doubt.
yes.
if you're on death
So
row,
I
I'm sorry, go
mean,
ahead.
I feel bad for the people that was wrongly incriminated, but the people that actually did something, they should be fucking punished to the maximum.
See,
Okay.
that's where it's a sticky situation because we say those that were wrongly uh, charged or incriminated or whatever the case may be, until those things, until they have a case that proves that they're guilty,
Yeah. Until
and
they
so
until they
they fall into that category. So that's
until,
why I said I would be
You
against
know
that.
what, Sean?
yeah.
That would make it even worse for somebody to want to go out there and commit a crime that's gonna get them
I
a life sentence
I
or
doubt it, G, because I
well,
mean,
we're not always at war, so you're right. It wouldn't
but here's the
really
thing,
do nothing.
it's scratch right, because why does it have to take war if the threat of death row ain't even
Right.
scaring them?
Mhm.
Right.
Well, and that's even more of a reason why they need to be out there killing. Listen, we don't want no wimp motherfuckers. We want the craziest and the toughest people out there killing people.
Uh,
But
so,
let me just add the fact that Patsy said something about the pedophiles.
mhm.
Right.
We're talking about a lot of people, even in the administration.
Yeah.
So they need to go out there.
So, can I
Obama, Bill
let,
Clinton.
let, let, let me answer this question too. Let me answer this question before
Crazy
y'all well y'all go ahead and drag it out there into the deepest
money.
waters and drown it. Let me try to because America, I'm
I'm
not a bad
sorry, I threw
person.
that bait
Don't,
out
no,
there.
no, don't worry about it because they already probably ready to write me off in the comments. Bad David. So let me
Pedophiles
go
and
ahead and see if I
mental
can
issues.
if I can redeem myself, America. So let me be clear about this. Yeah, I think here's my reason why I would agree with that they should have the option of doing so. And as I said, the option, right? They can choose to do it, and they can choose not to do it, right? But far as when it comes time for a time of war, they're looking for bodies. They're looking for people to train and stuff like that. All right. Now I'm talking like I said again. I am talking about these hardened criminals. And I'm talking about these murderous serial killers, and not the mistaken, not the frame, not the ones that you can't be certain if they did is reasonable doubt. No. Talking about the ones that that did it. They got the gun, they smiling at the camera. Oh yes, come on. They're gonna kill them anyways. That's my point. They're gonna kill them. They already gave them a death sentence. They're done. So to show you I'm not a bad person, that's why I won't be president, because ain't nobody gonna vote for me. I say if they survive the war, set them free. Not here.
Oh hell
No, no,
no!
no, no,
Now,
no,
now
no,
you're
no.
tripping.
You're not
Now
listening.
you're tripping,
You're
son.
not listening. I said set them free, but not here. They can't come
Oh,
back here.
Your whole argument is doesn't make any sense, sir.
It makes sense because I'm the one making it.
Right, right.
Yeah, you should have an island for them
so
motherfuckers if
so
that's
wait,
the
what I'm
case.
saying to you is set them free. We not here. Set them free in the land that we are at war with. If we win or lose, leave them there. Because you know why? They ain't gonna put up with the mess we put up here in America. We gave them 3 hearts in the cot. They ain't gonna do that. They gonna make sure they follow through with their sentence. You ain't gonna get no appeal. You ain't got to live out your life on death row. You go over there and you do anything wrong, they gonna get rid of you simply because
yeah.
you're American to begin with.
Horrible
Mhm.
hypothetical.
But I'm not.
He sounds like the orchestrator of the Hunger Games once he
I'm
leaves
not.
all
I'm
those
not.
people
Well,
together.
y'all can't be afraid of me without being afraid of your current leaders because they think worse than me. But
There's
I
no Jim
digress.
Jones.
Does anybody else have anything to add before we move on to the next one?
Other than that, the public,
Put the answers on the firing squad.
Mm.
the views of the administrator does not reflect the
Oh
views of
yeah.
the rest of us with common sense.
Well, thank you. What he said. All right. Question number 5. All right, before we do that, let's go pay some bills real quick. All right, so this episode is sponsored by EmporiumPlus.org. Remember, people, EmporiumPlus.org is an online store. If you can't find what you were looking for in this store, then you are not shopping in the right store. Robert, are you with us?
Sure enough, just like Donald Trump is still with us.
Yes, sir.
So today at EmporiumPlus.org, those people over there want you to pay close attention to what you haven't been buying. In this
Oil?
store, you can find fashions in all brands. And we forever, still a man, you serum, Adaptive Paris ladies first, SOS support our sisters, some merch at EmporiumPlus.org. For our subscribers that's hanging in there with us on YouTube, Still a Man platform, thank you. Smash a like, spam a comment, drop an emoji in our comment box. It goes a long way. For those who haven't, follow suit. Do the same. We appreciate you.
And might I add, I challenge each and every one of the viewers to go ahead and drop a comment about what I said. I'm ready. I keep the same energy. So whatever I said, I stand on it. And let me go ahead and say, for all you MAGA lovers, you Donald Trump supporters.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Wait for it. Our beloved President Donald Trump wants you to go Emporium Plus right now. Don't walk, run. He wants you to purchase as much merchandise as you can afford. Just do it. He wants you to all go in there, and anybody don't agree with him, he wants you to go in there and buy a Man Up t-shirt, because that's what you need to do. He also wants you to go in there and buy a t-shirt that says, get in line or get left behind. All right. This is a Donald Trump sponsored order. All right. So y'all do what your president tells you to do. All right. And that being said, let's move on to question 5.
And we just lost our viewers.
Oh.
Let me bring them back.
Let's see what happens.
There's 10% off if you buy the color orange.
Yeah, we got a special cheese color. But yeah, I digress. Let me see if I can find some more notes for us. All right.
For those people that said they had a shirt for me, it's fake news. Fake news.
And if you have any problems with what I just said, direct all your comments to the Minister of Conspiracy, Gregory. He'll answer all those comments. All right? So there you go. All right, question number 5. All right, we're going to start with Kiana. Oh, shoot. Donald Trump, went ahead and scrambled out my questions. We're going to start talking about him. Took me back 3 months. All right, here we go. Question number 5. Oh, this is a good one. Duchess, you with us? Duchess?
Yes.
All right, wake up from that slumber. I know we put you to sleep talking about him, but we back now. Question number 5. Should a person's wealth or religion exclude them from a military draft?
Religion, yes. Wealth, no.
Why?
Because if you don't believe in war and we're a country of freedom, why would I be made to fight in a war.
Okay. Patsy, what do you say?
Religion and wealth, should you be mandated?
Excluded. Should that exclude you from military draft, a military draft?
Definitely not your wealth, because you should be the first ones to um be in there, and they should do away with their 500 or whatever they monetary money that they actually
Robert Brewington has left the meeting.
pay to get out of service. Religion, that's questionable. Yeah, I think like Kiana said, like it depends on your religion if you're not believing in war, you know? Yeah.
Okay. What you say, Tanya?
I agree with the ladies.
Gregory, what you say?
Um, I think it shouldn't matter for both. Now that I'm thinking about it, because what religion doesn't speak of war?
Okay. Sean?
Give me that question one more time, sir.
Okay. Should wealth or religion exclude you from a military draft?
Um, I don't think it should, and I'm gonna be politically correct on this for the simple fact that they have rights just like those of us that shouldn't be excluded for race, for gender, or anything else for that.
Okay. Did everybody get a chance to answer it? Timmy, are you still with us? All right. All right. I certainly don't believe that wealth should exclude you. I don't think you should be able to buy your way out of the military draft. Although we know it has happened, and if there was ever a mandatory draft, that the same people that made it mandatory would be open to taking payoffs to exclude their loved ones. So no, I don't think that that should be allowed. Religion, I'm with Patsy because, and this is the reason why I would say it's questionable, because I believe that non-believers, people that don't even practice religion, if they knew that was a means to exclude them from a war or military service, then they would suddenly find religion, and depending on what religious beliefs exclude them, then I think they would adopt those quickly. So that's why I say it's questionable with that. But either way, I don't think that I definitely don't believe that wealth should exclude you. But again, it goes back to most people don't believe in war anyway. So I don't know if that has to do with a religious belief system other than just their plain ideology. All right, does anybody else have anything to add? All right. Um, so let me give y'all a little fun fact real quick. Um, would it surprise you guys? No, actually, let me give you the facts. So in some countries, do you guys know that it is their civic duty, I believe I'm saying that correctly, to serve at least 1 or 2 years of in the military? Did you guys know that?
That it was
What country?
mandatory to serve 2 years?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Sounds like Africa.
Yeah, yes, I knew
Yep.
that.
Mhm.
And so would it surprise you to learn that some what do they call them? Liberals believe that it would do the younger generation some good to have them serve in the military because it'll give them a sense of purpose, and so that they would be able to take a stance on things concerning our government and learn more about the defense of this country. You guys agree with that?
Like I said earlier, send their asses to war. Maybe they need a good straightening.
Anybody else?
Repeat that explanation again.
So some liberals believe that it would do the current generation, the younger generation, new gen, some good if they had to serve at least two mandatory years in the armed forces, because it would give them some purpose and teach them more about, give them an education about the government, how the government is ran in defense of this country.
I think they need to bring civics back.
Did they
That
remove it from
too.
school?
They do civics in middle school, right?
High school.
Not every school.
Not every
Some schools
school,
that has been taken off the curriculum.
it's a
That's why there's a
it's
bunch
a
of dummies around now who don't know nothing about
and it's a
how our countries
snippet.
work.
It's a snippet. I think that it needs to be more in depth, and I need to think that they need to put in the curriculum because they want the kids to go out and do community services, to serve in some aspect as a aid, or what you call that, do
Who made these? Chrislene?
oh, when they
Oh, good.
Volunteer.
volunteer, but when they go to these companies and they do
Sorry.
Internships.
internship. Thank you, David. Internships.
Yeah, I think that if I was to agree with their approach, I would decline on the well, I would be against the part about making it mandatory that they have 2 years of military service. But I would agree with you guys. I think that the way to implement or teach them patriotism, or anything about our country and stuff, I think they do need to put civics back into the curriculum, if they truly taking it out of the schools.
I
Right.
think it's deeper than civics. It's these kids can't even read to understand the civics. They need better schooling.
Well,
Yeah, and what I was thinking, like, if these kids are not going to go to college after high school, yes, put civics back in there. But then if they're not going to college afterwards, you give them a choice: either you go to college or you go to the military for 2 to 4 years.
okay. So
What that liberal, sir?
which kids are these that you're referring to, Patsy?
No, what I was saying with the original question with the liberals,
Mm-hmm.
with the kids going to school or going to college, I mean to the military, if these kids are not going to go to college, then you go to the military.
Mm. Okay.
But see now that I'm listening to the responses to this, and it's making me go all the way back to the original question,
Mm-hmm.
the very first question. And what we're saying now is not what a lot of us said in the beginning,
So,
because we're saying that just because we threw it out there as the liberals, we're
mm,
now making it a mandatory thing,
yeah,
and we was against that.
I'm against the military servitude. I'm not against the part about where they said implementing civics back into the curriculum.
And that's what I
But
said.
but I'm but
Why
I'm
would you
still
listen to them liberals? You heard
but
what
I'm
that
still
liberal said to
against.
the black people.
No. I'm not talking about
Robert
the civics
Brewington
part.
has
I'm
joined the
talking about
meeting.
I know what you're
the
talking about, Sean. You're talking
okay,
about mandatory
schooling or military.
yeah. It shouldn't be one that you still should have the choice. Only thing I think that they need to implement civics back into the curriculum. I wasn't aware that they took it out. But again, you can't make that bold statement like that. Well, they can and they have, but that's part of the problem. You're just making unfounded statements
Mhm.
because it's something that you believe to be so. And again, a lot of these individuals, those liberals and stuff, y'all are well along in age. You've been out of school and everything else for quite a long time, and you have a certain level of security financially, social status, and everything. So again, sometimes when I think that you guys are speaking loudly and proudly about something that you know doesn't pertain to you or yours. You're talking about everybody but yours when you make these bold statements. I mean, does anybody agree or disagree with me?
Oh, I agree
I
with you,
agree.
but that's why I said, across the board,
Mm-hmm.
you either, I don't care if you go to a trade school, so a traditional college, whether it's a 2 year, 4 year, whatever kind of college regiment that you're going for specifically for a certain type of degree. Yeah. So if you're not going to school for something, and I think, like, for me, I think if you don't make a specific choice by the end of the first year of school, the college,
Mm-hmm.
then then I feel like, they should say, the school should be mandated to say, well, you haven't picked it, but um well, maybe you should drop out and then go into the military and then figure out while you're in the military what you want to do besides the military.
Okay. Let me see.
So,
Let me get you guys' views on this next question. Question number 6. Sean, did you have something to add before I go on?
Real quick, the one of the reasons because I found this out when I was talking to my kids. One of the reasons they took civics out of the schools is because overall they couldn't come up with what curriculum or what type of civics they wanted to be teaching.
That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because you want to pick and choose what you want to teach them, and you want to leave out you again things that don't. You just want to tell them what you want to tell them, and you want to be able to bend it to your beliefs, and that's all it is. And so because y'all couldn't do it, because these children. I mean, let me just say this about new gen. These children are brilliant. They're intelligent. So even if you try to remove something from their curriculum they knew that once was a part of their curriculum, don't think for a second they didn't go and do their own studies because they have. And it just fuels them. It fuels their beliefs about the whole system. So don't think you hide anything from them because if they really want to know, they're gonna go check it out for themselves. But
kind of like Michael Evans and Good Times.
Dang, they don't do the schoolhouse rock for the kids.
mm-mm.
I swear to goodness, I be watching Facebook and people have commented they need to bring that back.
Hmm. Well,
They
let's
do.
see.
So just a bill. They'll learn what's going on in the world.
It was
Right?
a nice catchy song.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Exactly, all of it.
Roles of the Congress, congressman, the senator, what the Senate is responsible for, what the roles of the
Right.
senators are, what the roles of the House members are. They got different, they got the oversight committee. They need to talk about the different committees and everything so that you understand what's what.
Exactly.
um, I'm gonna say this, Gregory,
Yes,
Gregory.
sir.
So I challenge you to find that video, Schoolhouse Rock, the one where it talks about I'm just a bill, and it talks about a lot of other civic stuff.
Yeah, it teaches you. The government,
So
basically. It teaches you the steps of how the
find
government works.
find that and post that on our page. Like
Gotcha.
after you post this video, I'm not telling you to add it to our video, but I'm telling you to go share it on our page.
Heard.
Got it? All right. And that way we can all enjoy it. And then you can share it with the thread too if you find it. But post it on our page as well after you post this tonight's video. All right, guys, let's get back to the questions. We are on question number 6, I believe. Robbie, you back with us? Brilliant.
Yes.
All right, we're going to go to you first. Question number 6. Should draft dodgers be hunted down, thrown in jail, exiled, or forced to pay stiff fines for draft evasion?
Sounds very harsh.
That's the world we live in.
How about we just get up and move?
I don't think that was one of the options. The question
Because they all just sound worse. I mean, listen, I'll go with the easier one. I mean, it might hurt people's pockets, but I'll go with the fine.
You going to jail still?
I mean, but listen here. If I got to pay a fine and go to jail, then I'm gonna do some serious time when I get there. I'm gonna go to war for real in there.
All right, Sean, what do you say?
No, I'm against it because I'm against the draft and war, period. So, yeah. So
Everything
Mhm.
extending beyond it.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Now, do you understand why I say just get up and move out this country or something?
Okay. Again, Gregory, the question is, should draft dodgers be hunted down, thrown in jail, exiled, or forced to pay stiff fines for draft evasion?
Yeah, that just sounds like a whole bunch of slave hunter type
Yes, sir.
mentality to me.
Yep.
So when
Well,
I hear it, it's making me feel like um these people, like they said earlier, are running the asylum. You got the insane people running the asylum somehow. They done switch their roles and they do the same thing basically as these people. They're basically like bounty hunters looking for these people, put them in jail because they don't want to. And you're too much in people's business at this point. Leave these people alone. Let them live their lives because the government and regular life doesn't go simultaneously. They don't do the same thing as regular people. They're not average people. Even a government job is probably different from a regular job. You get what I'm saying? So
mhm.
why
Duchess,
try to include us in y'all world now because y'all want somebody to fight for y'all? It's crazy.
that's the whole purpose. We are a shield. Hmm. And as far as they're concerned, the same ones that's asking these questions, they feel they were expendable. Again, I think that these questions, these concerns, and the way they're presenting them, because they know this is not going to reflect on them. Uh, Duchess, what do you say?
I don't agree with it either. So the drafting the dog, I mean,
Evading.
dodging the draft
Mhm.
is 5 years in prison
Mm,
or up to
mm.
$250,000 a fine.
Say that number again.
Hmm.
Say that
Two
number
hundred
again.
$150,000.
$250,000 in fines. So,
Hmm.
I mean, of course, that's easy for rich people to just be like, "Here,
Mhm.
what's up?" Or people who do bids for nothing will go for 5 years. What is that?
Mhm.
So I don't agree that um with it because again, I don't believe that any man of any black man, because I'm not gonna say man of color, because I don't like that. Any black man should serve in this war. So if you need to do what you gotta do, do what you gotta do.
Mm. Okay. Patsy, what's your views?
Nah, I agree with Kiana. Shoot. And send me to jail because I ain't going to war.
Okay. Duchess? Excuse me. Tanya. Turn your mic on, T.
Repeat the question.
Okay. Question number 6. Should draft dodgers be hunted down, thrown in jail, exiled, or forced to pay stiff fines for draft evasion?
I don't agree with that. I mean, look at the president. How many times he dodged the draft?
Hello.
He hasn't been hunted down and thrown in jail.
Mm. Okay.
The loopholes. It's either you're going into a mental debt or you're going into physical chains.
Mm. Sean, what do you say?
Didn't I answer this, sir? No.
Yeah, I think he did.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay. You was one of the first ones to answer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And Gregory, you answered too?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. So let me answer this. Yeah. Hunted down, thrown in jail, exiled, or forced to pay stiff fines. You know what? That is another one of those bear traps, right? Because either way, it doesn't fare well for the minority. And I'm just going to say it. I'm just gonna put it out there. I think that this is a trap for Black Americans because again, you know already what they're asking. That stiff fine is $250,000, right?
Yeah.
That's what that is, right?
Yeah.
Most minority
Mental prison.
Black Americans don't make that in a lifetime, right? So you're gonna put them in jail anyways, and you already hunting them every single damn day. So it ain't gonna be nothing for y'all to continue what you're already doing. Because now you have even more of a reason to just swarm down on them and round them up and throw them into a back of a truck destination
Put
to
their knee on the neck.
yeah, to do with a destination wherever you want to take them. Leave the parents wondering when and where their children are gonna reemerge if they ever do, and drive these people crazy trying to pay a debt that you know damn well they didn't incur in the first place and couldn't pay when you put it upon them. So again, I just feel like that's a trap.
That's why they want more money for ICE Day.
Yes. And again, I'll say this again. America's founding fathers, a bunch of thieves, murderers, rapists. Who the hell are they to uphold the law? They're not going to.
Yes, sir.
They're not going to. And on top of that, y'all mofos ain't got money for 40 acres and a mule, but you steady trying to get free labor yet again
Oh, they got it.
from the backbone of America, the beating heart of America, the conscience that y'all just want to continue to ignore. Keep it up. Keep it up. I'll say this, and if anybody got some damn sense, y'all better learn to treat the people that reside within your country better because y'all are at war with people beyond our country and those that reside within our country. And y'all worrying about an outside uprising, you better worry about the one from within. Because I'm telling you, it ain't gonna be good because you're putting people in dire straits. And
The one within better not be screaming death to America. Y'all going to jail.
well, I don't think that's part of the problem. You want to tell everybody your plan. If you got a plan, just go ahead. See where it takes you.
Well, this is
Don't
a fun
encourage
fact.
them.
This is a fun fact.
Leave the world behind.
I think December 2020, 2024, 21.4 African Americans is active in the military, and that makes up for almost 95,000 black people is up there doing their thing.
God bless them.
And to do the other ratio on what I did, another fun fact, it would be like 20, 20% of black people and 67% of Caucasian people are active in the military. The rest is Hispanic, Chinese, and the following.
So we make up the majority.
Let me add this fun fact that all of those minorities that you just named, none of them are being promoted. A lot of them are being asked to that are in positions of authority. They're being demoted. They're being pushed out of their position, and they're not being promoted.
Again,
I was about to say, and then when you see the advertisements for these commercials, the few, the brave, the army, it's a black person's voice, and then you got black children telling their parents how I always wanted to be an astroscientist or whatever the hell. But any conclusion of what I was about to say, if you look deep into the army people, a lot of the top people that actually get paid, their kids end up becoming some type of celebrity for some reason. I don't know why, but it's a dynamic with that. And I was going to say these army brats, they end up becoming rich, and then you got all these military people that come from different countries that are nuts sometimes. These people were over there working on all types of experiments, and then we take them in and bring them into our country. So the whole thing about the enemy within, that thing is real when you said that. So
all right, Kiana, question number 7. I think you alluded to this early on, so I'm going to come to you first. Question number 7. Does America have any respect for its war vets or the families of these fallen soldiers? What do you say?
Absolutely not. Look at all the homeless people. A lot of them are vets. A huge number. So no, they don't care. They're cutting services at the VA. People are denied services. They're put through this whole set of circumstances to even be seen. So no, they do not respect the men and women who serve this country.
Okay. And Tanya, because you alluded to this too earlier. So you go
Well,
ahead.
the president called them suckers and losers, so that should tell you everything you need to know about how they respect the service men and women and their families. Like Kiana said earlier, there's people who are going to food banks and people who are taking jobs to help support the family, and like she said, they shutting a lot of the program and stuff out that was helping them.
Tanya, what did you say our beloved president said about these soldiers? What did he say again? One more
He
time.
called them suckers and losers.
The lies you tell. Our president would never talk like
And
that.
then he
Not
wanted
our president.
to send our babies out there to die on in his unjust war. It's illegal. Congress didn't even what they do. They didn't declare war. They didn't give them the okay for the war. He just went and did it. He let Netanyahu co-op him into going to war.
Wait. What's wait, what's this guy's name? You said who? Netanyahu.
Netanyahu, that's what I said. Netanyahu. I guess that's his name.
If that's his name, wow. Okay, I know I'm just acting up tonight. You got any more, Tanya?
Yeah, because he's been saying the same SHIT for 40 years, and no other president will allow him to drag them into a war, but he got the right one.
And this is Israel's
Yes.
head.
Hey, Google,
Yes.
stop.
All right. All
It's
right.
fake news. Fake news.
Patsy,
lie. That's a lie. I don't like that phrase.
Patsy, go
It's an
ahead.
article.
Patsy, go ahead. What do you say? Does America respect their war vets and the families of these fallen soldiers?
The ones that actually have that are other veterans, they respect each other and their families respect the veterans, but anyone that has not had family members in the military or even a stupid ass leader, he don't respect them. How you gonna talk trash and then respect somebody you talking trash about?
Mm-hmm.
No respect.
Again, our president would never commit to
Lie, lie,
such
lie.
lows. Brimage, what do you say? Does America respect its war vets and the families of the fallen soldiers? Turn your mic on, Robert.
Sorry. Sorry, I'm gonna easily say no. I think that to respect someone, you got to really have inner respect. So you got to respect yourself. Half of them don't even respect themselves, and so they don't know how to respect the next person. Nor they probably never learned what respect was. They just did everything their way.
Mm, okay. What do you say, G?
Can I have the question again?
Does America respect its war vets and the families of the fallen soldiers?
Dave, can I say you need to say America leaders, because us as Americans who have family members who have been veterans and so forth, we have respect for their service.
Okay.
It's the leader who doesn't have any
And I think
respect.
you guys made
But see,
that.
that's why I answered the way I did.
That's what I'm
The
about to say. I
families
think you
that
got.
do have members.
Um, I'm
That's
gonna
what my
say
answer was in regards to that White House,
Yeah,
the
you got.
leader.
Hold on, G. You guys don't have to defend your answers. You answered it the way you heard the question and how you saw fit to do so. So the question is the question. You guys answered it the way you want. If you respect them, then that goes without said. If the
Right.
leaders don't, then y'all spoke on it. So y'all answered it correctly the way it's no right or wrong answer. That's your answer. Um, Gregory.
Why he don't ask his own, why he don't recruit his two sons, Don Jr. and Eric, and his youngest son. Well, we know why he ain't gonna do nothing, try to convert or get banned Barron because Melania ain't gonna have it, and we know he got some medical issues. But them other two idiots, well, one's a drug addict. That's Don Jr. He's straight up a drug addict. And Eric is I don't know if he's capable, but he could be, but he has a chance to get in good graces with his dad if he goes into the military and go over and fight in the Iranian war because it's going to be a war because he's an idiot. And nobody respects him. And if you listen to the playbook is the same playbook from 2020 when the fucking COVID happened. He started the same shit. The war's gonna be over in 2 weeks. Ain't nothing. Ain't the war ain't over. It's still happening. He's setting up. He just bluffing, and nobody takes him serious no more. They don't take him serious. They know he's a con artist, a pedophile, goddamn thief.
Now you done told us
So if
how
a
you can.
war, if a
Hold on,
war was happening, why ain't the draft being implemented?
hold on, Gregory. Hold on. Let's keep this into perspective.
Context.
Let me get him to answer this question. Welcome, Timmy. I mean, you came in like a winter storm. The question is, does America respect its war vets and the families of the fallen soldiers? Answer that question.
Of course they do. It's like Tanya said. The people, the American people respect the people that fought for them and keeping them free from other countries coming over here. Is Tanya is 100% right when she said it's not the people that don't respect their veteran. It's this idiot because he don't know what it means to struggle. He always had someone bail his dumb ass out, and that's the problem. That's the big problem. And I just seen they're hiding the nuclear codes from his dumb ass because he keep
They
talking
are
about
hiding the
nuclear.
nuclear codes.
Wait,
Yes,
Wow.
Gregory, let him
yes,
finish. Let him finish.
yes, because he's so off the wall with his spewing. Now the sad part about it is all them goddamn Republicans and the people who was going in on Joe Biden about his fucking Sleepy Joe
10
this,
Time.
Sleepy
seconds.
Joe that,
10
2 minutes.
seconds. All right, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
over
right?
2 minutes.
They
hold
were
on,
talking
Timmy. I'm gonna
about
have
him,
to.
right?
I'm gonna have
But
to.
look at this guy. Look at this guy falling asleep at meetings. He needs people to
They wasn't
point him in
talking
the right
about
way.
Minute.
anything.
All
Yes,
right, Tim.
yes,
Oh,
yes.
Timmy,
that was
hold
a minute.
on, Timmy. I'm gonna have to cut you short.
Go
We
ahead. Go
implemented
ahead,
a
Dave.
2 minute policy. Gregory, 2 minutes. Does America respect its war vets, or excuse me, and the families of the fallen soldiers?
One, I'm gonna say it depends because they like to go off of prestige or whatever the hell it's called, and then you got these families of people that are army vets, and they go down the line, and then they all get awards and all this craziness. But two, no, they don't. Respect army vets, and it's been that way before Donald Trump, and they put it in your movies for you to see. Why you think we had those people robbing a bank in Dead Presidents, or Forrest Gump when the dude was in the wheelchair telling his sad story after being the whatever he was, the deputy Dan, that was his name, right? It's crazy, but it's been happening forever. So when you start coming and you start blaming one person, like, no, it's him, he doesn't respect. And once again, that's fake news, anyways. And then they would be in most of these movies, when you see a person go to the army, they tell you that their life was rough or they was feeling like they was a loser, so they went to the army. Yes, so even if he did call them losers and suckers, it was justified because it's true.
Oh shit, Gregory. All right, your time is up. Sean, can you make some sense? I'm telling you, you
Wow.
too, boy. Go ahead, Sean.
Um, respect? No. Recognize? Definitely.
Hmm. And what about the families of the fallen soldiers?
Same thing. We'll recognize them. Do we respect them? No, because if we did, there would be more things, more laws, more rights, more help, more everything in place to really, really honor the soldiers and their families.
Hmm. So let me be clear about this. On behalf of the Still a Man platform, and I'm speaking for the whole platform at this time, we love, respect, and appreciate the sacrifices that all the soldiers have made for to secure and maintain our level of freedom that we enjoy here in America. So I salute you guys. and women's of the military forces. God bless y'all all and your families. And I would say this to our American government: if you have dropped the ball in any way, where as it pertains to providing for these the families of these fallen soldiers, you guys need to do better, and you don't need to wait until tomorrow. Y'all need to start today. Yes,
Dave, it's the
yes,
1%, baby. It's them. They whatever those leaders in the government are doing is to benefit the 1%. They
yes,
don't give
yes.
a crap about the rest of us.
Well, perhaps we need to start caring about the rest of us.
Yeah.
All right, you
The
guys.
99% need to band together
Yeah,
and
the
boot the
99%,
1% out. Boot
the
the
nine,
boot their asses out.
the 99% needs to realize that they are the majority, and they will always. They're never going to be the majority until they realize that they have the true authority, and then they do away with the true minority, because that is the 1%. How the hell can
That's a t-shirt.
I was about to say, how the
Please
hell could
repeat.
1% be greater than 99%? And it's easy because they got all the say, they got all the power, they got all the wealth. That's
Mhm.
how. That's how. All right, guys, we got one more question. You guys are doing very good with these questions. Timmy, I'm gonna let you go at this first. This is the last question.
2 minutes.
Yep, 2 minutes.
8 minutes, Uncle T.
No, no,
Hmm.
don't encourage him. All right, now y'all, I want everybody to listen to the question because I want you to answer the question that's being asked. All right, question number 8. If America is on the brinks of World War III, do you trust the military brilliance of our chief and commander? I repeat, if America is on the brinks of World War III, do you trust the military brilliance of our chief and commander? And just so we're clear, I am referring to our President Donald Trump.
I know who you talking about. The hell to no. Got no country. No, not even the United States don't trust him. Not even his top military people don't trust him. That's why they keeping the damn nuclear codes away from him because he can't be trusted. He's an idiot, and he got frontal dementia. Let's let that be known. He don't know where he at the next minute. He can't stick on one topic. He goes traveling off, so his brain is scrambled. And he talking about the auto pen and all this. Listen, anybody that has to continuously tell you how smart he is, he really ain't that goddamn smart.
All right. Say less, say less. All right. Let's see if everybody else can follow suit. Patsy, same question. If America is on the brinks of World War III, do you trust the military brilliance of our chief and commander?
Hell to the no, because what brilliance does he have on the military? None whatsoever. Because, and the reason why they're not trusting him with the nuclear codes, because he's so stupid, he'll drop a bomb on us. Our own country, he'll assign that whatever nukes that he has that he's thinking will go to Iran or Iraq or wherever he's thinking of going, it'll be directed right at us. Somewhere in this country. He don't know shit. He ain't got no direction.
All right. Brimage, you still with us?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Mhm.
Listen, I'm going to follow suit. Hell no. Hell no. Patsy, I loved it. You had me crying, laughing over here. He's so damn stupid. He'll press the button on his own damn country. I'm going to leave it right there.
Wow. Gregory, I'm gonna come to you. Don't worry. I'm letting you get your defense together. Don't worry. Uh, Lady T, what do you say?
I'm gonna follow suit and say hell to the no. That he is the reason why we're on the brink of World War III because of his selfishness and only thinking of himself. He has no military brilliance. He dodged the military. He dodged the draft 5 times, I believe. Um, he don't know anything about war. And Timmy said it. He's got dementia. You can see it, you can hear it, and they are keeping him out of the loop of important decisions because of his erratic behavior.
All right.
And Tanya, to you, what you just said, that's why they getting over on him. The people that he got in power, they're supposed to inform him on certain things. They don't inform him because that's how they get over on him. So Pete Hegseth dude can start a war and tell him a lie. Oh, there's nuclear weapons, and he believe it because he's too stupid. He
So what
don't
happened in
he
Iraq
don't
with Obama?
read. He
Where was
don't
the
read
nuclear?
the
Oh my
damn.
God!
He do not
Wait.
read
Okay.
none of the briefings. He don't read that stuff.
All
They
right.
tell him. They
All right.
Delete,
tell him.
Timmy.
delete,
Say him
delete.
Timmy.
again of the
Hold on,
question.
Timmy. You overdid your 2 minutes. All right, that was the last question. You're gonna have to save it for the green room. I appreciate you supporting Tanya's statement, but your 2 minutes has expired a while ago, so we have to stay to that. And Gregory, it seems that you can't wait. I was gonna let Sean go first and then you, but go
Oh
ahead.
no, I'm waiting. I still got the same thing to say. Go ahead.
Well, all right. I'm gonna let Sean go and then you and Duchess, you still with us? Kiana?
Yes.
All right, get your thoughts together. You're gonna be the last one. You're gonna go after Gregory. All right, Sean, make some sense of this. If America is on the brinks of World War III, do you trust the military brilliance of our chief and commander?
Absolutely not, because he has none to begin with. And then those that he has in place to give him the advice that he's supposed to receive and take, he's not listening to it because he's going off of a feeling.
Mm, mm. All right.
And the feeling is that he want his pockets full of money.
Yes,
Hello.
ma'am.
Mr. Lacey, will you
First of all, well, all of the stuff that I seen from that military show that I worked at, they don't really need the help of anybody. Our military, we have so many devices and weapons that you probably wouldn't even know about. You get what I'm saying? And then they got this soldier serum, whatever the hell thing that was going on. And you look at these people and they're all about the same height, same build, and it doesn't have nothing to do with Donald Trump if they win a war. You get what I'm saying? So if you're talking about his decisions, the proof is in the pudding. Look what happened with Venezuela. And then you want a president to tell you exactly what he's gonna do. They cleaned up the trash in Puerto Rico because there was a bunch of trash floating.
okay. That's the way you want to leave it?
No, that's not the way I want to leave it. But look at the Venezuelan person and the other person in Mexico. You seen what happened, and then he came on TV and told you he's dead. Simple as that. This is the type of stuff that America wants to see. We don't want nobody to come and say we're trying to apprehend the suspect and all this other no. We want to know that these people that we're going against is being led against with a iron fist, and that's how that man leads with the iron fist in front of your face.
All right. Duchess, you ready? If America is on the brinks of World War III, do you trust the military brilliance of our chief and commander? Donald Trump?
No, I do not. I do not trust him as a leader. I don't trust Pete Pete Hegseth as the military leader. I mean, luckily we have people who've been in our military forces for years, so they know what they're doing, but the head doesn't have a clue. And so I do not trust it at all.
And the fact that he doesn't have a clue, he quoted some shit from Pulp Fiction.
Well, this is a man that y'all said was gonna be a dictator on day one and be a king.
He's trying his
And none
hardest.
of that
He's
stuff
trying his
happened.
hardest. He's trying
Delete,
his hardest.
delete,
He's
delete.
trying his hardest,
And
Great
as
Reese.
you can see, America, we remain divided. So, as I said at the end of last week's show, let us pray.
Welcome to the Still a Man platform, where real conversations leads to real growth. Every Monday, step into Man in the Mirror, a platform where people come to share their journey, their past, their present, and the future. Real stories, real reflections, and real transformation. On Tuesdays, tap into the heart of the conversation with Still a Man podcast, honest talk, raw truth, and the kind of realness most people are afraid to dig into. And every Wednesday, ease into the middle of your week with Wind Down Wednesday, your space to reset, release, and recharge. 3 shows, 3 experiences, 1 platform built on truth, growth, and connection. Support the movement, subscribe, share, and stay tuned. Mondays, Man in the Mirror. Tuesdays, Still a Man podcast. Wednesdays, Wind Down Wednesday. This is the Still a Man platform. Real talk, real life, real people.